what do we have here? The latecomer is finally recording the episode, and let me tell you, minor, tafadhali msinichape kwa sababu it is looking really hard now that the year is progressing and we are in another season. It is looking really hard to be uploading episode by Saturdays. I'm not giving up, but by how things are looking up right now, it is going to be a really busy it has been a busy month, and the next month is going to be busy. So this is another apology for being late to bwana. I'm even embarrassed to even ask for another apology. Karibu asubuhi niuliwe na mtu. But anyway, we are back again with the final part of the Simping series, and let me tell you, Maida, it has been a beautiful series of talking about Simping, because I've had some few conversations with people, and I'm like, jamani, kwani you guys think Simping is that good? Bana. So we agree this thing is not good, and finally what we've been waiting for is this episode where we're going to talk about how to overcome Simping. I know it is funny even for me to write, the name of the episode, or even to mention it at overcoming Simping. It looks really funny. I was actually laughing when I wrote it down at trying to compile some notes for the episodes, and when a lot of people are actually vouching for Simping and you're there proclaiming no, there's no need of this whole shenanigans, and then you're here telling them there's a way to overcome Simping. It is funny, but in this case, I think we just have to be truthful about it, because when we talked about the characteristics of being a simp, we talked about the factors that bring in that particular phenomenon. It all comes down to people not being their natural selves, them not being in a space where they're healthy mentally, physically, and even spiritually in my case. So this episode is a well-needed guide on how to overcome Simping, because we have understood the root causes of all these things that bring about this particular character, and from my end we have agreed that Simping is not a phenomenon that we should be pursuing or want anyone to be in that state, and when I'm thinking about all these episodes that I am doing and all these topics that I have in plan for the season, I'm thinking and I'm like, probably 10 years to come, I will be listening to this episode and I will be laughing, because 25-year-old me ningekona check. I'll be listening to the 25-year-old me and I'll be laughing. But it is really a good way to, you never know where you'll be in the next 5, 2 years, 1 year, 1 month. You just never know. So I'm really grateful to be here. And I know you're waiting for the tea of the week, and let me tell you, my tea is not haina sukari hata kidogo, haina sukari, kwa sababu hii wiki imekuwa refu bwana. Nimepelekwa mbio. I don't think I have any sweet tea to serve you guys for the week. All I can say is I am looking up for the next week. I am really looking up, because at least I'll have another opportunity to go out and watch people play golf. That is what I'm looking forward to. But there's nothing much I can talk about the previous week, how it has been for me. I hope yours was fine. I hope yours was not as hectic as mine, but either way, we thank God for it. So jumping straight to our final episode of this series, talking about overcoming Simping. And I think the basic part of overcoming something is understanding and accepting the condition that you're in at the moment. And if you're a simp, or you know, between the last 2 episodes, you recognized that you probably have these small tendencies of having some issues that lead up to you over submitting yourself to people, you just being there for people without receiving that energy, well, this episode is for you. And you know, when we are understanding the particular root causes of, you know, being a simp, we talked about, of course, low self-esteem, whereby in this case now, if you're trying to overcome this thing, we or you have to recognize that you have simping behavior, and it stems from feelings of inadequacy. Trust you me, that is the truth. It always stems from that. It is always you thinking you're lacking in something, and the only way you can get it is if you show it to people. Whereas the healthy way is creating that particular energy in you so that it does not become a compensation when you're giving it to people, but it comes from pure generosity of giving out a particular energy, and that in this case is love, care, and consideration. Next, I think in discussing the root causes of simping, we mentioned kidogo about fear of rejection, and it is really paramount for people to understand that everyone experiences rejection, you know, and it doesn't define you at all, you know. And however much I think the human experience when it comes to rejection is we just never know how hard it will hit until you get that first experience of rejection. It might be rejection from getting a job, or rejection from somebody who you thought you're interested in, and you both shared the same interest, and you get rejection, or just anything. You never know how it hits. There are people who get that first hit and never want to take risks in their lives, you know, and there are people who get that rejection and they're like, how can I be rejected because of this? Then they will take up that opportunity and create better for themselves, so that even if the next opportunity comes in, then they will not be afraid if they face another rejection, because they know they will become better and better by each experience that comes in. So it is really good to understand that you will always experience rejection. So either way, it is either you find yourself being healthy and ready to take risks, or you can be a simp, which I don't recommend. Yeah, and the next one is, you know, unhealthy relationships. And trust you me, there are many of them outside here. It doesn't only come from, you know, romantic relationships, but of course from our parents, from our relatives, from our friends, from, you know, all these people. We've all been involved in unhealthy relationships. And I know I talked about introspection in my first episodes of starting this podcast, and it is really good to evaluate your relationships each and every single day. After every single conversation that you've had with anyone, it is really good to evaluate those relationships and whether they are based on balance, you know, balance of power. I don't want to talk about it from a point of who has more power than the other, but, you know, the power to give, the power to reciprocate energy. Do you have that balance between you and your father, between you and your mother, between you and your girlfriend, between you and your talking stage? Do you have that balance? Do you have a dynamic within that relationship that is healthy, whereby you do not have to wait for somebody to do something, you do not have to leverage somebody to do something, you let them do it out of pure generosity, out of pure want to just do it, you know. And that is the only way we can create better relationships in our community and eradicate this simping pandemic we have outside here, because people are really trying to have control of things, and it touches me deep down inside that people really want to take control of love, or think they can be in control of love or how somebody feels about them. Whereas being in love with somebody or having love or showing love to somebody isn't about showing control. It is about giving good energy, giving care, giving considerations, all these virtues that we talk about when we mention love. It is about giving, and giving shouldn't come from a point of I'm trying to create this, I'm trying to control this. No, it should come from a point of you wanting it, because it is right to give this energy to this particular person. The people receiving your energy might not appreciate it, but do it because it is the right thing. Don't do it because you're looking for a particular reward or something at the end of it. So we are going to jump in straight to another subtopic of it when it comes to overcoming simping, and it is building self-confidence. And let me tell you, this is one thing that I can say personally I've struggled with when it comes to confidence, because there's a lot of things that actually hurt you and experiences that you get all through your life from childhood and all these things, and it affects your confidence. And funny enough, life has a funny way of giving you opportunities each and every single day for you to improve your confidence, for you to actually be better. And I can remember, for me, I had a problem with taking risks. I'm always will be a person who follows guidelines, a person who follows what exactly they've been told to do, because that is how I've been raised. But as life progresses on, I realize there are risks that are supposed to be taken. There are risks that you have to teach yourself to take, because if you become such a one-way person, you might not experience life in full. And so for me, building confidence became a personal project when I just decided there's a particular character I want to be, there's a particular stature I want to be in, and there's a particular life I want to live in, and I have to be confident about it. I have to write it down, be confident about it, and start working on it as soon as possible. I can tell you it is now coming to 2 years of that actual, starting that project for myself, and I can tell you there are good fruits. There are times you feel like you're at 100, there are times you feel like you're negative 100, but you always come back to being a better person. And for me, I always feel good when I take risks. I always feel good when I go outside there and I just sell myself, and have conversations with people and take each and every opportunity. And it really feels good when that opportunity materializes into fruitful conversations, into fruitful, actions being done. And you'll be there thinking, and you'll be like, 15-year-old me will be proud. 10 years ago, I was not like this. So, of course, the first thing, you can consider is having positive affirmations. I know these things have been talked about in the internet for so long, but it all comes down to not even what people tell you to talk about yourself when at TCG you wake up, or when you're down or anything. But I think it is you recognizing your true character first, and understanding that there is the right way of doing things. And once you clock that in your mind, that there is this particular right way that is supposed to be used, then and there will you realize that every affirmation that you need for yourself is actually in knowing that there is a right way to do things. And when you do things out of pureness, out of knowing that you're doing it because it is the right thing to do, then that will serve as a positive affirmation for you. And it won't really matter if you tell yourself every single morning, but as long as it is in your subconscious mind, then you'll be at a better place, because your mind will keep on remembering, yes, I am doing things because it is the right thing to do. So next, of course, is setting personal goals, and wanting to achieve them and looking after them. Like for me personally, as I've mentioned a lot of times, that I always wanted to start a podcast. I did not know what exactly I was going to talk about. I did not know. I was really in a space where I was, doubting myself, wondering if I'm ever going to make it. And we are heading to a whole year of podcasting. Each and every week I have uploaded an episode. There are people who started and crashed out, and I pity them completely because I actually understand the pressure that it comes with. But for me, I can say I'm proud of myself because it was a goal I set myself to. I wrote it down and I was like, this is a passion I want to pursue. And there are, of course, other personal goals that I set for myself. Weekly goals, there are monthly goals, especially now that I'm in a space where I am learning about my career. Then I get to learn new things. I get to, learn how to take correction, being humbled, even in knowing that everything that I've learned for the past years, I need to relearn them again. I need to unlearn some things, and I also need to be considerate in taking other people's opinions. And, it comes down to setting those goals and understanding that every single day is a day to learn. You take up that opportunity to learn. You listen to anyone who's talking, and you want to learn. You show that grit that you want to learn. And for me, personal goals have been a really good structure to my life. And I can say that when you grow, when you're growing up and age is really moving forward and forward, now you'll have to forgive me because as I was recording as I was recording this thing, something just came up. But yeah, I was talking about personal goals, and it is the only way I can say that actually keeps up the consistency in you boosting your self-esteem. There is actually no other better way than setting goals for yourself, and not basing them on you comparing yourself to other people, but you basing it on you wanting to become a better you. The next part we're going to talk about is also seeking support. I know this is one of the topics that can branch out to another series of how people struggle with seeking support from people, but I think for me, I am actually coming to the realization that I actually need friends who I can trust in, who I can, confide in, and just letting them know that I am their friend, they are my friends, so we can always count on each other, and I can seek support from them and they can seek support from me anytime, because I realized for a long period of time, I have always been that person who's open to, people seeking support from me, and I will give it freely. But from my end, I never sought support from other people, and it is really hard to let down, those walls and seek support from somebody. It might be something small. It doesn't have to be monetary or something big. It's just you talking to somebody and telling them, today I did not feel well, and they'll be right there for you. They will be there to listen to you, and even to talk you out of negative thoughts and all these things. And then you come to realize that support is a really big thing that we humans need, because we can never ever rely on being just individual characters and not need support or community. And it is something that we obviously need to improve on as a community at large in things that we do, and not let any kind of comparison come in and think the other person cannot listen to you because they have a different life or they will never understand you. It is just better for you to just take up that step and seek support. So that is one of the best ways to overcome simping, because inaweza kuwa unaangalia una stalk mtu Instagram alafu you don't seek support 2 months down the line unajipata kwa mashida zenye ungeondokea tu kama unge seek support. Unaona sasa unafaa kunisikiliza. But anyway, to our third guide, and it is healthy relationship dynamics. Now, one, this has to be paramount, that we have to seek mutual respect. And when we talk about respect, I know you've heard of OCG, men look at respect as love and all this nonsense that we hear outside here. But this is about actual, even friendship respect. When somebody crosses your boundary, when somebody does something that is not really a good thing from your end, it comes down to having respect and telling them, I can forgive you about this, but we need to put up these boundaries where you have to respect me and I will respect you in the same equal measure. Next, of course, is setting up boundaries. We've just talked about it, and we obviously set clear boundaries when we come about with experiences in our lives, where we set up things in our lives, and every experience that comes in, you get to teach yourself of things that you do not like or things that you like, and then you set a boundary that this is my limit. This is where I can go far as when it comes to this particular topic. So setting boundaries that are effective, and also communicating them to people who are close around you and the community around you. Then next is independence. And let me tell you something. We've talked about the factors that come about with simping, and we mentioned about people having low self-esteem, wanting to give out this energy as a compensation for you lacking it specifically. And being independent and sourcing everything from within you and creating that particular energy from you then brings out the independence, that you do not need another person for you to get that particular energy, but you can source it from within yourself because it is in you. So the only way you can handle your relationships and the community around you is you creating a whole source of it and having it as a resource around people, sharing it, and not giving it out without having reciprocity among, your relationships. And it is really hard to come about independence, especially in this generation, because of course there's the outward look of people talking about, you should be independent and all this talk. But do we really sit down and actually understand what comes about with independence? Because to my understanding, what we see outside here, it's more of people downing another side of humanity or another gender or this other gender, when it is supposed to be, yes, I need this other gender for them to exist in this life, but in my own personal way, I do not need them for me to fill up the void that I have. You have to create it within yourself. There comes in independence that we need as individuals. Yes, it is always, independence also involves people. It is not in any way at your soul structure that it is alone, hivyo peke yake. You need people. You can never run away from that. So you can maintain your own interest and hobbies outside relationships. You can be your own self without thinking how other people are going to perceive you and, all those things. Then the next one is obviously shifting your mindset, challenging negative thoughts, focusing on yourself more, prioritizing your own happiness and well-being, and then learning to say no. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a big thing. I wish I actually had, a whole episode or a whole series talking about learning how to say no, but I obviously can't talk about it right now because it is actually one of the things that I'm trying to teach myself on saying no, saying no to patco, saying no to sugary things, saying no to laziness and procrastination, all these things. But anyway, you don't have to feel obligated to do things you do not want to. Trust you me. And not even in that sense alone, but you actually need to know yourself for you to realize of the times that you're in, and when something comes up, you can say no to it. Or if something that is not suiting you or working to progress you in some kind of way, learn to say no. You don't have to say yes to everything just because you think you might not get another opportunity that is for you. So of course there are some things we can avoid in all these guides of how to overcome simping, and one of it is avoiding idealization, whereby we put people on pedestals and not recognizing that people have flaws. There are some things that we need to actually sit down and recognize that people have flaws. We can accept that. We can be gracious to them and tell them, we need to work on this and this and this, but there's no need of putting them on pedestals. That is a big no for me. The next one, of course, is practicing mindfulness, where you have to be present in the moment to see all the opportunities that you have, to see of all the reflection that you need to do, and avoiding dwelling on the past or the future when when you're thinking about opportunities that have come to you, opportunities that might come to you. All these things, we have to be in the present moment where you are, because you might miss out on some really good things, and especially on independence. And when you lose such opportunities, then trust you me, it will take you a longer while to learn that lesson. And it is also it is also really, really good to note that overcoming simping is a process. So we have to be patient with ourselves, and you have to celebrate your progress each and every day. Once you've made that decision to overcome simping, once you've made that decision, trust me, it is going to take a bit of time. It is going to encroach you again and again to attack your self-esteem, to attack you basically, and your core values, and you will wonder if it is a right step to take. And trust me, it is, because as long as you're facing challenges on a decision that you've made, then trust me, you are on the right way. So ladies and gentlemen, that has been our topic, talking about simping. We've talked about its definition, we've talked about the characters and the factors that come about when it comes to the simping phenomenon, and then now we've concluded it with a guide to how to overcome simping. And it is really a huge topic that I would have loved to, of course, have somebody with me and discuss of experiences that we've had when it comes to simping, but little by little we will get there. So it has been a pleasure, guys. Thank you very much for listening in. Of course, it has been me, your host, Kang'ong'oi. Thank you very much for listening in to the Cordial Podcast. I appreciate everyone who shares my episode. I appreciate everyone who likes my snippets that I put on our channel, the Cordial Podcast. And I cannot even explain how grateful I am to each and every single one of you. So it has been a pleasure, guys. I know the next topic is going to really catch your interest, because we are going to talk about reality dating TV shows. I know it is funny, but I think it is a topic that we need to talk about, especially in this time of the year where there's been several dating shows that have come about, several movies that have come about that talk about relationships and love and all these things. And I decided, why not talk about it at full length and understand how these things come and program us in some kind of way. So watch out for that. Of course, next week we are going to start on our first part of it. I hope to see you there. I hope to see you listening. I hope you'll have a really blessed week. So it has been a pleasure, guys. See you when you see me. If you ever see me, it has been a pleasure.